Good morning. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Divinely Driven Results live show. We are so excited today to be able to talk about a topic that I know is near and dear to our incredible guest's heart, as well as my own. I had not thought about writing a book for a long time until I met this amazing, amazing woman that you guys are about to meet here as well. So as we're getting connected in all the different locations that we are going live in right now, make sure you tell us what you do for your business. I think that live videos like this are such a great way to connect with our audience and to connect with other people. So tell us, what is your business below? We don't need any links or anything like that, but just tell us, what it is that you do and who you serve, so that maybe that person out there that's looking for your business can connect with you and message you so that they can get to know you more and be able to partake in your amazing spirit. So just by way of introduction, my name is Elise Smith. I'm a Christian business strategist and owner of Divinely Driven Results, and it's a coaching brokerage that is really here to be able to empower amazing Christian women entrepreneurs just like yourself to be able to reach your sales goals by partnering with God, empowering your mindset, and utilizing biblical business strategy. And so if you want more information, go to divinelydrivenresults.com. But today we are going to talk about being an author and getting your book out there. So are you an aspiring author, or have you already written a book? Make sure you put it in the comments below so that we can understand a little bit more about our audience. Do you want to know how to utilize your book in business? That is so crucial, guys. It's easy to focus on writing the pages and completing your word count, but you may have a daily writing goal, or a month you want to finish your last chapter, right? So there's all these things that are going through your mind and you want to just finish it. But what if we told you that there's a big difference between writing your book and getting your book right? So today you're going to learn the 3 rules to getting your book right and understanding the signs of a book destined for the dumpster, which we really, really want to avoid. Plus, learn how to make your book an actual business. So today you're going to hear from our amazing coach here at Divinely Driven Results, Tiffany Berg. She is the CEO of Sizzle Yellow, author, speaker, and coach. She's passionate about getting your message out there, has authored multiple books, guys. It's amazing what she's done, and was even featured on Oprah's Big Give and People magazine. Tiffany supports the growth of aspiring authors and professional speakers by sharing her insights and tools. And she's passionate about getting your message out there, that message that God has put on your heart. And she has authored so many multiple books that she has all of those tools and experience and knowledge to be able to help you do so. And she does that here in our company at Divinely Driven Results. She is one of our specialist coaches that you get to work with in our Divine Business Accelerator program. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to the amazing Tiffany Berg so that you can learn how to get your book right.
Elise, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. What a great thing to talk about in the morning. I go to my Bible in the morning. This is my 1-year Bible. I've read it about 15 years. But I want to talk about why I'm so passionate about this. There's a story in the Bible where Jesus is talking to a woman at the well, and this woman had lots of things happen in her lifetime, and he said, I know all about those. I know you've had several husbands and you're with someone now, and I know you, and I can offer something to you that you need, and you'll never be thirsty again. This woman was so transformed by that experience that what did she do? What did she do? She told everybody about it. She went back into the town and said, I met the Messiah, and you need to see him. You need to listen to him. He is the way. What if she didn't share that message? What if she kept it to herself? She didn't share her experience that was very private, because maybe she didn't feel good enough. That whole town would have missed that message. Now, here's what I want you to take away with today. I want you to take away with 3 things. We're going to talk about this. But the biggest gem I want you to understand is if you have a message that will transform the lives of other people, find a way to share it. Maybe it's not a book. Maybe it's a video. Maybe it is speaking from stage, but they can all be connected. Find a way to share that message. Uh, Find a way to shorten people's pain curve. You know, we go through these learning curves that are so painful. If you know how to do that for people, speak it, write it, share it. Find ways to be a blessing. So that's the biggest message I want you to take away with. I'm going to share some ideas, 3 ideas specifically about really how to do your book right. Um, there are a lot of people talking about writing and creating a book, and I guess I see what has worked. I've been in the industry for about 20 years. I've helped authors all over the country write their books and specifically have a strategy for books. So I'm going to jump right in. Elise, do you have anything to say before I just roll down this road?
You know what? I think that's just such an incredible message to start out with is as you're going through this, you might not even be thinking about writing a book, but Tiffany just gave you the golden key there is that you have that message to share with the world. God has placed that on your heart. So how are you going to get it out there? So watch for that as we go through these amazing tips.
And Elise, thank you. Sometimes we think about a book because we've been through stuff like hard stuff, awful stuff, traumatic stuff. And especially if you want to write a book because of some hard stuff you've been through, I really want you to pay attention and take notes. Take notes on these 3 things and come back to this video. I know, Elise, you're going to post this so people can see it over and over again. So, especially if you've been through hard things, this is going to be really significant to you. So, number 1, again, it's really easy to focus on just writing every day, writing a lot of words. And can I share with you, that's not the best thing. In fact, there's ways to write your book without even writing it. So I won't talk about that here, but there's ways to do it. So ultimately, what you really want with a book idea is you want new clients, right? I mean, ultimately, in your business, in your life, you don't just want a book, you want a business. You want to be able to fuel your passion. That can only happen if you have revenue. So you want new clients, the paying kind. You want paid speaking events. You don't always want to be speaking for free. When you do speak for free, you want to leverage that somehow. You want to grow your list, people that are following you, not just on social media, because in a day, that all can go away, but on your email list. And you want to be on TV, radio, podcast. A book is a really good way to do that. You maybe want to have an online course where you're teaching people or a coaching program where you're sharing 12 steps to playing guitar, 12 steps to riding horses, getting over your fear, healing from an abusive marriage. Ultimately, you want to leave your mark on the world. You want to leave a legacy, and not just a legacy about who you were. You want to leave a legacy of who you impacted for good and how many people's lives were changed for good because of you. That's the legacy we want to live. So, step 1, or rule number 1, you got to have a strategy over content. So, I know what you put in your book is important. It is, like all those words. Strategy is actually more important. So, that's rule number 1. Rule number 2, a book has to be part of your overall marketing funnel. A lot of times people think, oh, I'm going to write my book, and then that's the destination. Ultimately, your book is not the destination. Getting your message out to change lives, that's really the goal. And so it has to be part of a whole marketing funnel. Number 3 is Good copy beats long copy all day long. So can you write good copy? Do you know what that is? So we're going to talk about all of these points. The first one, rule number one, strategy over content. Sometimes we think so much about all the words we want to write and all the stuff we want to put in a book. Sometimes, you have to pare it down because you want to put too much in one book and your reader is going to get lost. So again, 12 steps to riding a horse. Okay. I'm not going to be talking about doing rodeos. Okay. Keep it clean, keep it clear, make sure your strategy is really tight. Think about, what problem does your book solve? Is your book the best solution? Are there other solutions out there? Does your audience even read books? So think about, if I was, I have one of my clients that, his audience is young teenage boys. Well, maybe a video is going to be a better platform. So think about that. Who is your buyer? And what is your secret sauce that makes your book stand out? I'm going to go back to the story of the woman at the well. Her secret sauce was, hey, I met the Messiah at the well. First of all, I'm a Sumerian woman, and he still had a message to save my life. He still had a message, even though he knew about my broken life. He still had a message of salvation for me. That was actually her secret sauce. That's why people believed her, because how could she come up with this? So the unique things you've been through in your life will actually make your secret sauce. And remember, less is more. Be really, really clear. Don't get confused and try to put too much in your book, because you might lose your strategy. So make sure your strategy is one focus, one direction, and your audience gets it the first time. So remember, rule number two, your book is only part of your overall marketing funnel. And when I say marketing funnel, I mean you gotta be marketing. If you're not marketing, nothing happens. So you won't sell your book, you won't sell your speaking, you won't sell yourself. Your book has to be part of that engine, just one cog. So think about this. How will people hear about your book? What offers do you have after they buy your book and they read it? Why would people want to continue with you after they read your book? What do you have in place for that? What high ticket offerings do you have in place? And then what will you put in the book that will leave them hungry for more? And what I mean by that is, do you have anything in the book that will make them go to your website for maybe something free or something helpful? So if you're writing a book about living a healthy lifestyle, what if you were to offer 50 kid-friendly, kid-fun recipes that are healthy? So maybe they're reading the book, and then from that they want your recipes and they go to your website. Again, what will bring them to your website? You want to think about this this lazy 8 or this infinity sign. Sometimes we forget that we want people looping back in with us over and over again, so that we can continue to share messages that inspire and encourage and equip them. So again, remember, it's only part of your marketing funnel. So you have to think, especially like about your title. Is that really a winner title? Will people get it? That's the strategy part. And then will it sell itself? That's the marketing part. Rule number 3 is good copy versus long copy. And what I mean is, if you pull out a book that was written 20 years ago, what you're going to see is it is just words, 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 and hardly any breaks, maybe except for the chapter heading. But today, people don't have the attention span for that. They aren't looking for that. They're looking for something that is clippy. So make sure that you are not so flowery or so long in your writing that people get disinterested. And that means your title, that means your chapter headings, that means your subcategories. It needs to be clippy so that people like to read it. So think about, go to your Cosmopolitan magazine, go to Good Housekeeping, look at how People magazine, how they chip things into bite-sized pieces and the copy that they use to get people interested. You want to remember to write at an 8th grade level, not because we're talking down to people, but because people are busy. And so they can get that really quickly. Keep lots of white space on your page. Make sure you recognize people are trying to read the snippets. And then think about this, 13 beats per sentence. And so 13 syllables, 13 beats. If it's longer than that, cut the sentence in half and create 2 sentences. Stay clippy and stay fun. Oh my goodness, stay fun, even with hard topics. And I would say especially with hard topics, make sure that you are staying clippy, not sacrilegious, but clippy so that people can understand quickly what you're saying. Stay clear on what you mean. Again, less is more, and only say what you need to say. Here's the biggest thing I see when I'm helping authors. We look at a paragraph that they've written, and probably a fourth of those words don't need to be there. I'd say 20%. So when you write a sentence, if you write a chapter in a book that you want to publish, print it out and then I've got, these highlighters here. Take a highlighter and cross out all the fluff words like so and very, even the word I. How many times are you saying I? Take out the words that aren't needed and really stay clear on what you want to say. Stay with your strategy. Recognize that, page 100 has to sell just like page number 1. Keep it clear, keep it strategic, and remember you're always marketing. And so again, if you're not doing these 3 things, what's going to happen is people are going to become disinterested. If they're disinterested with your book, they won't be interested in your coaching. Conversely, if they love your book, they are going to want to coach with you. They're going to want to get to know you one-on-one, hear you speak, listen to your podcast, listen to you as a guest on TV or radio. They're going to follow you. So make sure that you're doing all 3 things so that your investment of time and money in writing this book actually transforms the people that you want it to. Again, you want your message to change lives. And if you have a heart for maybe autistic children, or you have a heart for women that are widows, or you have a heart for people that are stuck in fear, if you want to write about those things, make sure that you write it right the first time. So, Elise, do you have questions for me? Are there comments you'd like me to respond to?
I love it. I love this topic so much. And the thing that came up for me as you were talking is that concept of that God is a God of order, right? Like, it's not just that we're going to just start writing a book, because I've done that. Like, I've done that concept of let's just write out what's in my soul, and that's just going to be good enough and beautiful, and people are going to love it and, flock to it and all that kind of stuff. But it's having that order, ordering your steps, right? So that God can really lead you to really make that legacy and that impact that you've been talking about. That's how we can really touch the people's lives that we're called to touch, is through the order and the strategy and being able to listen to God's Spirit as we go along. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat here. I'm trying to watch kind of our different locations. Thank you so much, Marie, for joining us. It's so great to see you. And go ahead and put them in the chat, and we can have Tiffany answer them for you either live, or she can come back and answer them as well. But I think this is such a powerful, powerful podium that we have with this concept of a book, right? Is that God has put something in your heart. There's a reason, ladies. There's a reason why God has called you to the business that you're in. And it doesn't matter what business it is. God has called you to make an impact through this business. Think about what kind of impact you can make when you can stand on a podium like this, right? Or stand on a virtual stage or a live stage or whatever that might be that God's calling you to do. And honestly, I'm going to kind of go here, Tiffany, is that you could probably take any of these 3 rules and apply them to speaking as well, right?
Absolutely. In fact, here's kind of a funny thing for you. Think about Moses. If Moses, think about Moses today. So Moses is here today, and he is going to write a book because God's put something on his heart, and he's going to be a motivational speaker. So here's what that would look like. The book title could be What God Wants You to Do. And there's 10 chapters, and they're the 10 commandments. Okay.
I love it.
So think about that. Moses could have a 10-week coaching course where each week he talks about one of the 10 commandments, right? But like you said, there is order there. There is order there. It's really, it's more of a system and a strategy than you realize. But really think about Moses being on stage. Today, I'm going to share with you my PowerPoint with the 10 things that you got to do. God wants you to do these things. Here they are. And he launches into the 10 slides with one commandment each. So really, we have the knowledge of what it looks like because we've seen it before in history where people were really clear. You know, I'm not going to compare Moses to Stephen Covey, but 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Win Friends and Influence People. So you think about these systems or strategies that were really effective in getting a message out. And that was because they were so clear, and they were memorable because they were so clear. So that's how we need to distill down what we want to share with people so that we can equip and encourage them in a way that number one is good strategy, but it's usable to them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And we've got a comment here. A book is a powerful ministry. It absolutely is. I mean, think about the last book that you've read that just changed your thinking or really hit your soul. We have the ability to do that. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it's either a book or speaking or, you know, maybe even in your email list, all of these concepts, strategy over content, part of your overall marketing strategy, writing great copy, all of those things have to do with you sharing your message in whatever platform you choose. So Tiffany, I'm blown away. Every time I hear you speak about this, one, I love the passion that you have for this. She is incredibly knowledgeable and experienced in this, but the heart that she leads with it is like, she sees your book even before you see it sometimes. And she just kind of helps to pull that out of you. I can speak from experience because I've worked with her on my own, and I adore Tiffany like no other. And I'm so glad that she's part of our company here at Divinely Driven Results. So if you are looking for more strategy in your business, right? That concept of strategy over content works not only just in a book, but also, like we said, speaking and even building your own programs. If you're looking for more strategy in your business, especially a divine strategy where God is at the helm and you're partnering with him every step of the way, then I want you to go to divinelydrivenresults.com and come book a call with us today. We want to be able to empower you to achieve your sales goals because God has put that on your heart. The way that you achieve those sales goals is sharing your message that God has for you in so many different ways. And Tiffany is one of our specialist coaches that is going to help you to get that message out there. But we cover so many other things in our Divine Business Accelerator, such as how to speak to your divine client and really attract that higher end kind of client that you're looking to serve. We also cover marketing in a huge way and how marketing fits into your overall strategy with your book and speaking and your programs and sells through service. All of these things really focused on biblical business strategy, how to build your business in the Lord's way. So make sure you go to divinelydrivenresults.com and come book a call. Get to know us and how our team can help you to achieve those sales goals. So Tiffany, one last golden nugget. What's on your heart that you feel like needs to be shared today before we end?
I actually want to speak to your program. I think it's really easy to kind of get siloed in, right? So we think about Gideon in the beginning of kind of his story. He was on the threshing floor, but he took his grain down into a wine press because he was so afraid of people getting at him that he was trying to thresh his wheat in a wine press. And if you know anything about the separation of wheat and chaff, like that doesn't work because there's no wind. So he was siloed in. Now, later in his life, as he gets braver, he is out and he is leading. So, at least what I love about your program is even though there are people siloed in working in their own industry and they're by themselves and they're trying to get results, what I know about your program is it brings people out of that wine press so that they can be leaders. And that's because you've got coaches, you've got direction, you've got tools. Oh my goodness, your tools are amazing as far as really learning to look at your numbers. And so I would just encourage anyone out there, if you're listening to this and you're trying to do it on your own and you're siloed in and you're not, you know, you're supposed to lead, I would just encourage you to contact Elise because she can give you the support and the help to actually go to battle, to actually be a leader, as opposed to being siloed in by yourself. So that's what I would encourage people to do.
Beautiful. Yeah, we're not meant to do it alone. And God's here and we're here to serve you, right? Not only do you get Tiffany as a specialist coach, but we have 6 other amazing coaches so that we can cover all of the 7 pillars of a divinely successful business. So make sure you go to divinelydrivenresults.com. Thank you so much, Tiffany, for all of your amazing, amazing rules to be able to help us get our message out there even more. And we will see you guys next time on Divinely Driven Results.